What is up, guys? Back here on another video, and for today's video I'm going to be ranking the top 5 worst ultimates in this game. Now let's get on with the video. For the 5th spot we got Asus Flame Emperor, and the reason why is because it's basically a weaker Spirit Bomb. Because look at the range, it's so bad, and it doesn't even have any explosion on impact. Like, let me use it. It doesn't deal any explosion damage, and the damage itself isn't even that impressive. It does 70 damage, and it ends your mode. So it's basically Spirit Bomb, but much worse. Also, that happens, and that is super annoying. I hope that's fixed. So, now let's get on to the 4th spot. Okay, for the 4th spot, we have Pain's Planetary Devastation. The reason why it's one of the worst ultimates because 1, that noise is annoying. 2, your opponent can just run away. You see how it caught all those dummies? It's because they're standing still. If your opponent was smart, they would just run away, and you have a super long end lag after you use the move, so you can't even, like, use Universal Pull until the ultimate has already been done. So that's pretty trash. Also, it only does 50 damage, and it ends your mode. So that has to be on this list. And now we're going to the 3rd spot. For a 3rd spot, we have Beast King Cobra. The reason why it's such a bad ultimate is because $50 damage, it does guard break, but it takes so many bars. And that's not very impressive for an ultimate. The only good thing about it is that it's auto-aimed. But that's just it. I really hope that the ultimate gets buffed sometime soon. So, now for the 2nd spot. For the 2nd spot, we have Gar Sand Shower. The reason why this awakening is trash is because it can only be used once, and look at this. If your opponent were to block even one, or you just missed one, you will not get the kill. It is just that bad. And the projectile's pretty small, so you can easily dodge it. Which makes for a terrible ultimate. And now, let's get to some honorable mentions before we get to number 1. For the first honorable mention, we have Going to End. Because I already explained this before. 0 points, 0 kill. Your opponent just dies, and so do you. And that is why it's an honorable mention. But it is not on this list because you can use it when your opponent is on their last stock. So let's get to the next honorable mention. For the next honorable mention, we have Sanji's Soba Kick. The good thing about it is that it's unblockable and it's completely auto-aimed, but it only does 50 damage and you can only use it once. Not a very good ultimate. But it is not on this list because, again, it is completely auto-aimed, which means you can't miss it, and it's unblockable. So, let's get to the last honorable mention before we get to number 1. For the last honorable mention, we have Whitebeard's Island Shaking. The reason why it's an honorable mention is because all your opponent has to do is jump to counter it. But the reason why it's not on this list is because it has a pretty good hitbox, and you can use it for public servers. And by the way, another reason why it's bad is because it only does 60 damage, which is not very good for an ultimate. but it can still be usable. So let's get to the worst ultimate in the game. The worst ultimate in the game is Kill Us Execute. The reason why is because you can only use it when your opponent is half health, and that may not seem bad until you look at Kill Us Kid. Blockable, blockable, guard breaks but slow. So if you're fighting Killua, all you have to do is just hold F, and if you are Killua, you would have to hope that your opponent is either stupid and doesn't know how to block, or you can luckily catch them off guard with Lightning Palm. And if they do catch you off guard with Lightning Palm, this is what will happen. And your mode is gone. So yeah, that is the reason why Killua's ultimate is the worst in the game. And that's gotta do it for today's video, guys. See you next time.